Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining this space. I really appreciate you guys and your support. So we're going to be reacting to a song called Night Over Egypt by the Jones Girls. And this was requested by Gerald. So thank you so much, Gerald, for requesting this song. I really appreciate your support. And I'm really excited to listen to this. I've never heard of this artist before, this group before. So thank you for introducing me to them. Let's go for it. No, it didn't. Ooh. Oh, God. No, stop. Yo. Ooh. Ooh. That was off, but I have no words for this. Thank you so much for requesting this. This was just magical, yo. Like, I don't even have any words right now. Like, it was so different, so unique, so like, so. Was this made for a film or something? It wasn't. I was just gone on the Genius page to see, but it wasn't made for a film. But obviously, there was a lot of people on this this song, the production of the song. The harp, yeah, literally the flute, bass, the strings. Them strings was just, I think, my favourite bit. The synthesizer, the horns, guitar, drums. Yeah, there was so many people on this one. 80s. You know, honestly, like, I don't even have any words to like talk about this right now. There was just so much going on, and it just kept giving. It just actually kept giving. I think the first thing that I noticed was just that instantly as it started, you got that Egyptian feel, like that stereotypical sort of Egyptian feel with the different instruments that were used at the beginning, and then it kind of gave you that. It happened throughout the song. It kind of gave you those little hints of that Egyptian feel to make you kind of remind you that, you know, you're in Egypt, Nights Over Egypt, that theme that's obviously in the name of the song itself. So they keep kind of coming back to that theme throughout, and then they kind of add elements. So they started with the harp, and then that kind of like, I think it was I'm pretty sure it was that, must have been that the synthesizer was what was going on like that, and potentially the keyboards as well were doing that sort of helping out with that Egyptian theme with the melodies and stuff like that. And then they kept adding more instruments. Obviously the harp was just magical. I think anytime you add a harp to a song, it's just going to be magic. And I definitely think that added to the vibe of the whole Nights Over Egypt, that magical sort of foreign feeling that's like otherworldly type vibes. And Egypt obviously also has that quite regal energy to it, and ancestral sort of power and stuff like that. So I definitely got that from those little pockets that they kept putting in and reminding us of the theme of the song. And then the harp came in, then the flute kind of touched in there at the end a little bit. But I think for me, my favourite bit was the violin. The violin, I just love me a good violin situation, whether it's like a solo or I think it was actually created by a whole orchestra, because they've got like a sort of MFSB. I'm guessing that's probably some like orchestra, because there was a lot of violins. You could tell that was giving that real orchestra feel. When it just went up with them freaking violins, it was just, that was what was making my hair stand up. And then they added their vocals alongside it, like, ooh. It was magical. That bit was beautiful. And then they did that. It was almost like they did that as like a transitionary period of like, they had the Egyptian bit, and then they kind of went really grand with it with the violin. Just the way the violin was played, it was just magnificent. It wasn't just a boring sort of, I don't know how to explain it. It was just, I mean, it made my hair stand up. So that in itself is like an explanation, and that's exactly the kind of outcome that I feel like you want when you use instruments or when you just create a song. I think that's just like the ultimate outcome, is like when people feel like their hairs are standing up, you give them goosebumps, and it just sort of takes you there. And the fact that they add their vocals with it was just magical. And then that sort of took us back into the dum 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 dum, like the groovy bits. It was like, it was cinematic, it was orchestral, it was grand, just that vibe, that energy that you want from a song that talks about Egypt. Because, you know, Egypt's the pyramids, it's grand. And I love how how they mention sort of, you know, Nights Over Egypt, but they don't only mention sort of Egypt, because I feel like Egypt is that place where, oh, that's deep. Okay, that's really deep. We haven't even got into the lyrics yet, but I've just seen something mad deep that I'll just get into. So I was going to say that obviously Egypt is giving that stereotype of like the magical place. But anyone that knows about history, the history that maybe we weren't taught in schools, basically, you know that East Africa, not just Northern Africa, is really where like the origin of humanity exists. From what I have learned and explored in terms of history on my own journey of history learning. You know, sometimes you have to learn about history away from the system. Not to get too deep with it, but it's true. So I love those hints. Obviously, Egypt, people know in our minds, we go, yeah, the pyramids, the Sphinx, all the magical stuff, Tutankhamun and all that. But I love how they touch on the sort of other areas of Africa, East Africa, that have that magical nature to them, like Sudan, that are not a lot of people potentially even know the country Sudan, or know that is Sudan, Ethiopia, all them kind of parts of the world have a very spiritual and magical energy to them. Not that I've ever been, but I'd love to go. But, you know, and the fact that she's like, they say, women felahin, I actually don't know what that means, but wear veils to be seen by no one. Take a caravan across the Sudan Saharan facade. Is just a mirage, oasis in the sand where life once began under the moonlight. I told you, I didn't even hear them say this. That's so deep that I picked up on that. I didn't even know that that's actually the lyrics. I didn't hear the bit where she said where life once began under the moonlight, and I just said that. Ooh, that's the power of music, man. That is the power of music, when it gives you the message before you even actually see the message for yourself. Ugh. Your eyes won't believe what your mind can't conceive. Night over Egypt. Yo, this is actually deeper than I even thought. There's a star in the east over pyramids of Giza where there once lived a girl. She ruled the world. She's talking about Cleopatra potentially. Or there must have been, Cleopatra probably wasn't the only one. There was probably loads of, back in the days, you know, them kind of powerful women. She ruled the world, and down the Nile he came with a smile. He was the king, she was the queen under the moonlight. I love that. It's almost giving, like, again, you know, I'm assuming, I don't want to get too like deep and philosophical with it because this is a music channel, but still music has the power to teach us things that maybe we don't learn at school. You know what I mean? So let's get educational with it. You know, I feel like it's giving like Adam and Eve, but the OG Adam and Eve vibes is given, like with the he was the king, she was the queen under the moonlight, like where creation began. It's giving extremely spiritual, but it's not like putting it in your face. It's giving you the vibes of it with the lyrics, and then with obviously with the flipping instrumental, like it's just fantastic. Ooh, I didn't even hear this. I was too focused on the instrumental, but now looking at the lyrics, incense and myrrh. Ugh, girls that swirl to the music, night over Egypt. Oh, it's just giving so much. It's giving so much. Wow, that's so fascinating. Thank you so much for requesting this. This is a great one. Yeah, man, honestly, I just think the grooviness, it was of the time. What I love about this is 80s, right? This was, I think if they said on that website, it was 81, it was released. I love them times because it's same with like Earth, Wind and Fire and those kind of artists. They really know how to create music that's groovy, that makes you want to dance, because dance is also spiritual, you know, being able to move your body, releasing the energy that's stored up. Do you know what I mean? That kind of vibe. They offer you that in the song with wanting to just groove to it. You just can't not dance when you listen to this. But then also adding elements of like spiritual sort of elevated mindset and like just that spirituality that's just like, or the wokeness, I hate saying that word, but that enlightenment vibe is what you get from this song. But then you can still have a good time, and you're not vibing to a song that's like talking about just getting high and having like taking drugs. Do you know what I mean? It's talking about something so elevated that your mind can't even conceive that this we're talking about. Like, I love it. Yeah, this is great, man. Honestly, just fantastic. I think I do really want to go back just to replay it, just so I can feel that vibe again, because the violins were just too much for me. You get the groove. Okay, here.
Nights over Egypt.
honestly, guys, like, oh, so beautiful. There's not anything else that I wanted to, yeah, there's nothing else that I wanted to talk about, but I just feel like, oh, it was just stunning. Those bits with the violin elevating, ooh, beautiful. Thank you so much again for requesting this. I really enjoyed this one. Amazing. So if anybody has any other requests that they'd like to send through, whether it's the Jones Girls or any other artists from this era, from different countries, different languages, I'm so open. They're all amazing, and I feel they all have something to offer to the world of music, and I'd love to be exposed to that. So yeah, there is a link in the description box for you to send that through. And if you did enjoy the vibe, the way that I analyze music and appreciate music, and the depth in which I analyze the meaning, the context, the lyrics, yeah, feel free to subscribe and join the family. I love your guys' support and your guys' enthusiasm to my way of interpreting, so I really appreciate that. I'm grateful. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. Until next time, bye.